Is that a raincoat?
Yes, it is! In '87, Huey released this. 4, your most accomplished album. I think their undisputed masterpiece is Hip to Be Square. A song so catchy, most people probably don't listen to the lyrics. But they should, because it's not just about the pleasures of conformity and the importance of trends. It's also a personal statement about the band itself. Hey, Paul! Ah!
Axes have long been a part of the cultural mythology of cinema. They talk to us of self-sufficiency and the pioneering spirit in the days of the frontier. You know, the owners were usually indicated to be hardy, resourceful and rugged. There's these folk heroes like Grizzly Adams and the notion of bold, strong lumberjacks that conjure up ideas of the axe was as natural as the trees they felled and ornament of goodness and virtueness. So Grizzly Adams here, you may have heard of. So American cinema replicated this through movies and whatnot, but most of these came about, you might recognise this guy, Paul Bunyan from Fargo on the outskirts. Paul Bunyan. Then the humble old axe sort of got a reshuffle. It got cast as a sort of a grindcore, weapon of destruction, sort of more in the hands of maniacs and whatnot in the 60s and 70s. So axes sort of came away from the frontier after the horror movies sort of took off in the 60s and 70s. The schlock. Axes became urbanized. This is the Amityville horror, the 70s. You see the axe sort of turned, instead of being a noble and a courageous sort of tool, now it's being used to secure the house where George Lutz, that's him going up the stairs, based on a true story apparently. But the axe is being used here. Especially what I want to look at is the doorways it uses from going from a good place, which is sort of George's world, to break down the doorway, we were talking about thresholds earlier, into save his sort of children. The axe is still being used in a noble way, but obviously for nefarious deeds. He's fighting demons here, and there's a clip coming up where saving his family with the axe. No such thing as a cheap house George. You'll always end up, doing something terrible to your wife. And again, he's Stanley Kubrick's The Shining with Jack Torrance, Jack Nicholson, and the axe scene again. The axe is sort of taken, it's been urbanized, it's been brought back from the frontier, where it was celebrated as, the noble American, instrument of choice to get into the frontier, and it's a pioneering spirit, and it's been turned inwards, so used in a metaphorical mind about a mental state. The sane on the one side of the threshold, and the insane X-Man Jack Nicholson on the other side. And what he's doing, he's tearing down that wall, he's bashing it down with the axe of where the two worlds meet. He's having a real go at that. If you think about the axe in this sort of scenario, and you think about how it has been portrayed, it's very sort of similar as the axe does represent the doorway. The doorway once to the frontier and whatnot, and now it's sort of turned a course for the worse, maybe. But for the axe. Here is the world between the cartel and Walter White security. Here's sort of Sylvester Stallone against his movie career. Here against Mordor and the world at large. And here is Paul Bunyan again, the giant Axeman. Thanks. Salute to axes, the repeat motif through the ages.